All right, we are going to use Canva's Magic Erase to erase the body and get just the head of a character. In this case, the Sonoma State mascot Lobo Seawolf, and add a gradient background and add some type and an outline. So what you want to look for is trying to avoid like little golf ball shapes. Any photographer or digital art kind of person is going to look close at the edges. You can see I did a decent job, but there's a couple spots where it looks like it got hit with a golf ball. So let's do it. Last semester, or over the summer, students did a good job with ChatGPT, so we're going to check it out, right? So here's the original image on the left, and then ChatGPT can take the image, and you can use a brush in ChatGPT to add a pink water bottle, and it's nice and shaded. There's highlights and shadows, or shadow along the edges of the fingers. Or you can composite an image, so you can take a specific water bottle, in this case like a branded bottle, or a soda can, an image basically, and put two images together to create a composite. So we are going to have some fun with ChatGPT and Canva. Let me minimize some windows, bring Canva back, get ChatGPT going. All right, so first off, let's download what we're going to need. So get an image, kind of like a mascot shot like I have. It doesn't have to be Lobo Seawolf, but I just went to Google Images and got a Lobo Seawolf. It's best if you start with large images, so go to Tools, Large, Tools, Size, Large, and then you should get an image like this one, and you can click and drag it to your desktop. Oop. All right, so mine went to my desktop. And while you're there, grab an image that you want to put in Lobo's hand or create a composite with. And I just searched for pink water bottle and got, I think, this one. So, but you can get a soda can, whatever non-offensive item you want to place in your mascot's hand with ChatGPT. So, all right, so let's get, you can see here, this is like the head from my... I brightened it here. I used the adjustments inside Canva to brighten it up a little, but this is what I got. And I got that by starting with my image of Lobo and saying lifelike digital art painting. And it gave me this, which is kind of dark. And so I did increase brightness, brighten eyes, smile. So let's try it again. All right, so new chat, bring in your image. And I think I did lifelike. You could do photorealistic, but lifelike digital art. Let's maybe not do painting this time. And I guess you're supposed to like come to tools and say create image, but let's just hit it and see what happens. All right, see, it gives you thanks for uploading the image. Would you like help? Yes. Pretty cool how ChatGPT can recognize somehow it's a mascot. Wow, it's giving me all these options. How about Pixar style? Okay, create image. I guess that's kind of a benefit if you don't go straight to that tools, that you get some feedback on what ChatGPT is looking for. All right, we got a Pixar style image. Looks pretty good, a little dark, but that's fine. So you can double click on it, and then you enter a different kind of mode or editing mode. And there's no tooltip for this, but it's a brush that lets you edit selection at the top there. And so I'm going to paint in where I want kind of a big water bottle and say pink plastic water bottle. All right, Lobo got a pink water bottle, and it didn't like the word plastic in there, so I had to take it out and do it a second time. But now let's try adding this to the right hand. So let's see, I'm gonna put that image there, and I'm gonna do like put image in right hand. All right, so looks good, right? Oh, there's the shadows along the fingers, and it did what we told it to do, and it got rid of the water bottle on the other side. So have fun with it, and keep those ideas in the back of your mind. But I'm going to scroll up and just use this original image here, because there was a little overlap with the water bottle on the face. So, and I want to isolate the face. All right. Sometimes you have Mickey Mouse with his body and sometimes just his head. So we want just the head of this character on our poster. So I'm going to go to Canva and get a new design. Make it a 1920 by 1080. And bring in Lobo, my ChatGPT AI version of Lobo. All right, so it wants me to start kind of working with these templates, which we're not going to use right now. So I'm going to put this off to the right. And you do upsample the image. When you increase the size of the image, the quality can go down. So just be careful if you're doing professional work. You want to start with the best quality possible. And you could use ChatGPT to remove the background, but I think this is faster, just hitting the button, remove background, BG remover. And it does a good job. I'm going to edit it to brighten it up. So under edit, adjust, the shadows I cranked up, and I added some brightness. All right, so I think that looks good. And we still want to get rid of the body, isolate the head. So you got to use this Magic Eraser, which is kind of like Photoshop selecting and masking. You could try using these automated features. I didn't have much luck with them, but auto detect, right? Like it doesn't really, I guess because there aren't a lot of good edge detail. It's kind of like it goes dark blue to dark blue below the chin, so there's not a solid luminance transition or edge for the application to detect. But you could try auto detect and kind of see if it can come up with different parts of Lobo. If maybe you have like a illustration that has some clearly defined edges. Okay, so we're just going to get our brush, and the trick is to zoom in and use a small brush and go slow. So I'm going to zoom in along that bottom of the neck, and let's maybe make the brush a little smaller. All right, and so it kind of comes, you can kind of make some dots and like connect the dots, right? So you can kind of start here and maybe put your brush like at some places where the brush would make a turn. All right, so I'm happy there. A little harder to tell the edge over here. And then all right, so let's kind of start here and just follow the chin. And let's see, it's a little tricky because the chin has some like bright blue, and then somewhere it goes to dark blue. All right, so you can take more time, but once you got that kind of edge area isolated, you can crank up the size of the brush. And so this is what you do a lot in Photoshop, and there's some nice keyboard shortcuts and some nice automated tools, but this does a good job too. So I'm going to hit erase. And there's our head. So X out to close or arrow out. And while we're here, let's see, I'm going to zoom out and like make the bounding box kind of equal distant on top and bottom so I can get some alignment going. All right, I could bring it in a little more. All right, so now zoom back in. So now it should give me that smart guide when I'm about center. I zoomed in a little too far. And Let's add that gradient and add the type. So I just got a photo gradient. There's lots of good gradients, right? There's the one I use, but search for like gray radial gradient in photos. And so I think I just grabbed this one, and then make sure you don't put it like on top of this image or else it replaces it. That's kind of nice. It knows you want to go to the background, and then Command Option left bracket to send a back, or right click, Control click, and do layer send a back. You could adjust it if you want the gradient a little darker. I think I also added a shadow white outline because this is going to be a YouTube cover. It seems like that's what all the YouTube covers have, is this like outline. And I'm going to switch to white upper left, and okay, X close, accept. And then I added some text with the app. So under apps, and go find the text, type text styling, and maybe search for blue. All right, so when you search for blue, you get clean. That's the one I used. I guess I click on it to say I want to use it. You can see fall 2025. I got rid of that little starburst icon image effect. Shadow's fine. Text is fine. And then add to design. And get rid of this and get the smart guide to center, kind of eyeball. You could resize it a little if you want. Option drag a corner, let go of the mouse, let go of option, and then share, download it to your desktop and upload it for credit. So I hope you had fun with that, and I look forward to seeing your Lobo or non-Lobo heads on a Canva page.